So we're going to be talking about our various tech journeys. So just left to my left, I have Primidak. Primidak is the CTO of CryptoSmart, and he's also the lead tutor at Borderless. And he's the number one reason that we have Borderless. Please put your hands together for him. And then next we have Jesse. Jesse's story is very inspiring. I hope he gets to tell it today. And then next we have Great Adams. Great Adams is a full stack developer and he works at CryptoSmart and he's also a tutor at Borderless. Put your hands together for him and for Jesse. And finally, we have Glory Praise, who is also a full stack developer and very, very astute in Web3 technologies. Please put your hands together for her. All right, so we're going to start. This session is on tech journeys, so we have 2 minutes each. So, Primidak, please tell us, how did you start? What are the things that has made you progress till now?
Okay, good day, everyone. Hope you guys are doing great. I started my tech journey 2015, and I just have this burning desire to do tech. I love tech. But the truth is, I don't actually know much when it comes to school, but I'm natural with tech. So I started my tech journey 2015 with just my basic knowledge and my computer teachers then, and my mentor in Mexico, Alessandro Colorado. And it wasn't actually easy. I usually spend my break time in the computer lab to learn one or two. And one thing I will tell you in tech is you have to actually sacrifice something to be good in tech. You have to sacrifice something. When I started, people were like, nothing good to come out from tech. I won't use it because normally I went to a school that is, intellectuals were there, and I was not one of the brightest in school. But when it comes to tech, I was number one. But then they're not looking for someone that knows tech because Nigeria and tech don't mix naturally. So I was more like a dummy to them. But I didn't mind. I know that I knew what I wanted in life, and I moved on. I progressed. Every break time, I go to the computer lab to do one or two because I didn't start with a computer. I was using a Nokia Asha then.
Wait first. So you're using Nokia Asha to...
Yeah, I was coding.
Tech.
Yeah,
You're
HTML,
coding with Nokia
HTML,
Asha.
yeah, HTML and CSS.
Okay.
So
how old are you?
I was 14 then.
Okay, continue.
So I was just using my Nokia Asha when I get home. Then when I go to school, I use my break time or any free time I have to learn. Then I met my mentor in Mexico. He was in Mexico.
Wait, in which school? In which place?
We met on Facebook. He just messaged me because I was one of these groups on Facebook where they talk about Python and the rest because I said Python and the rest. So he was like, okay, he will help me out. And he did a lot of work on me.
So you had this mentor?
Yeah.
That was in which country?
Mexico.
And you people were doing your mentorship through?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Interesting.
So I have to sacrifice my night time to be chatting with him because of the time difference, you understand? So he taught me a lot. In fact, the reason why I usually teach all my students with Linux is because of that guy. That's why I avoid teaching people to Windows. So he taught me a lot, and that's how I became grounded. I started learning multiple languages, and I became this good. I started teaching, and as I got back from, somebody taught me this, I had the passion to start to transfer the knowledge back to as many people as I can. I started teaching. So I've been teaching since 2019.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've been teaching since 2019, and so far I've just been developing myself. So that's basically my journey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Please put your hands together for him. Thanks. Okay, so Jesse, you're next. Talk to us. How did you start? And please tell that story you told me. Tell that story.
So good afternoon, everybody. Before I even start, there's something that Miss Ebube said that I really nodded my head when she said it. She was like, be careful with what you say to children. And I want to relate it to be careful with the kind of friends you have. Because my whole tech journey was because of friends, actually. So the first code I wrote was around 2019. I'm not an OG like our boss here. So it was around 2019. But the reason was because of my friends. So I had these guys who were like doing game dev, web development, and all of that. And they were doing coding. Although, like, I knew about tech like a long time, but it was not something. My interest was like kind of robotics and mechatronics. Like during secondary school, I used to tell my teacher that I'm going to be a mechatronic engineer and all of that. But I'm not doing mechatronics. I don't
Was
do
it
that.
Transformers
Yeah.
that
So, but
that influenced that
but
decision?
I really loved robotics then because it was very good, but not like the software development part. But my whole software development journey started around 2019. So I had some friends, like I said, who were doing coding. And when I sit close to them and I see what they are doing, I was like, oh, I like this thing. So I was like, okay, give me PDFs, give me YouTube video, give me anything. And I had an issue, which I would also like to point out, not having a clear goal. Then I just wanted to learn coding, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to learn. So I went on learning about C Sharp. Before you know, I jumped to HTML, CSS, JS. Before you know, I jumped to Python. Before you know, I went back to web development. I was just going up and down, up and down. But I had personal struggles, like a lot. Nigeria hit me. Nigeria, me, like something like that. Nigeria hits me. So I didn't have a laptop. But at some point, I had like serious passion and drive for the tech. So one thing I told myself was
Wait,
that
all these things you were learning, the jumping from one to another.
it was not even with a
You didn't
personal
have a
laptop.
laptop while you
No,
were doing
I
all
was
that?
borrowing. I was using my
Interesting.
phone, and then I was using like one that techno phone does not have name. So I don't even know. I cannot remember the name. I just knew it was techno phone. But at some point, I used to even tie it rubber band, self, like something like that. So, but I was interested in programming then, and I used to borrow. There's this my friend. His name is Tammy or Tama. So I used to borrow his laptop then, and we start coding. And while I was jumping, but at some point he took the laptop, so I could not code. I told my parents about it that I was interested in coding, but they just say shifts. They did not reason anything, so I shall left it. I was not that
What year
serious.
was this?
What?
What year was this?
Around 2019.
Okay.
Around 2019. So that was 2019, 2020. Then I stopped for a while. I was not doing anything coding. I was just like that. Then until late 2021, I was like, I need to go back into tech. Like this, I really love this. Because one thing I did was that even while I was not coding, I was following trends in tech. So if, let's say, JavaScript had like a new update, ES6, I knew what it was
Wait.
without...
How are you following these trends?
How?
How are you following these trends?
I was just using my phone, basically. Like, I stay on my own and I make personal research. Like, I
Okay.
just search random stuff.
Okay.
And I knew about different, so especially like the web development aspect,
Yes.
even without being an actual web developer.
Yeah.
So I could sit down. The reason I did that was because these my guys that were coding, they usually talk about stuff like that, and I want to follow up, right? So I would have to go and make my own research.
Okay.
I was not even telling anybody then that this was what I was doing, but I would just like do personal research, learn about this stuff, and when they are talking, I can have a conversation with them too.
So your own influence a lot was even with the friends that you had.
They were the ones that made me realize that I had interest and passion for it.
Okay.
So I thank them somehow.
Okay.
And
Wait. We'll come back to you. Let's hear great story. He has his own mic. So great. Talk to us. How did you start? What's your tech journey been like?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Great Franchico Adams. So they said charity begins from home, right? So my tech journey actually started from the house, right? I grew up from a family where my mom has this theory of instead of you going outside, let me give it to you inside. So she bought us laptops, phones, and all those cool stuff. So I found out that
Please clap for great mom. Please,
Thank you
another
very
round of
much.
applause for great mom. Thank you so much. Continue.
Thank you very much. So, growing up, myself and my brothers, actually my other brothers, they are very good with technology, phones, and all those stuff. And I actually got it from them. And then, since we had laptops at home, I find myself operating laptops more often than any other thing. If you give me Microsoft Word, I'll just do something that even my other brother will be surprised that you can do this kind of stuff and all those things. So I found out I was good in this. I went to church. and I think it was like this software that is being used in church, right, for displaying Bible quotes and easy worship, yeah, those things. So I was actually typing, and I was good at that, and I met someone in church that said, "Look, do you just want to stay in Microsoft Word or this stuff?" I said, "Is there any other thing else that I can do?" Because I was good in Microsoft Word, I was good with PowerPoint and all those little primary stuff. And he said, "There is actually something more you can do." I said, "What was that?" He said, "Programming." I was like, "What is programming?" He told me that you can actually build websites, build that stuff. But what I was aware of was Cisco networking, because I'm a very curious guy. And when I see something I like, I tend to like do research on it. But back then, you only had button phone. And what can you do with button phone? Only to like open free Facebook and free Facebook and all those stuff, right? So basically, that was where I was doing my research. So he told me that you can do more with this thing you're doing, because he found out that I'm very good at typing and all those stuff. So he told me about HTML, CSS. This was in the year 2018. I was still in secondary school then. Was it 2018? I think it was earlier than that. I can't remember exactly the day. So he said there's HTML, there's CSS, and there's JavaScript. The first time I heard those words, I was like, what is this guy saying? Is he talking to me or is he talking to himself? Because it was sounding too weird. And then I said, okay, I'm interested in this stuff you're saying. Let me go home and do some little research in the house. And then I found out what HTML was, found out what CS was. And then I came back the next day in church and like, senior man, help me, let me know more of this you're telling me, right? And then he's a computer science student in a polytechnic in university. I don't know the specific polytechnic, but he's a graduate now. He's in Lagos, Nigeria. I think he's working with an airplane organization. So he introduced me to HTML in the year 2019, taught me a little bit of HTML, taught me a little bit of CSS. And by that time, he traveled to Lagos, so I was practically alone. And then that was one of the, that is why I tell new guys that come to this space that you do your own research by yourself. So he just left me with HTML and CSS. And then I felt like I know HTML and CSS now, I can build a website, so no need for JavaScript. That was a very, very huge mistake I did. And I didn't even like I got into JavaScript earlier than that. I think it would have been better for me. So I just worked on HTML, CSS, 2019. I remember when I was supposed to be reading for WAEC, I took my laptop and went somewhere where no one would see me. I was learning HTML, learning CSS. And I tell people coming now, I say, you don't want to learn, but you want to build, but you don't want to learn, that you have to pay a price. So I was supposed to be reading for exams, but I find myself learning CSS. Learning Flexbox specifically, man, that thing is crazy. Grid, grid, all those stuff in CSS, man, that thing is like a headache. I had to like take my time specifically to learn that stuff. I was having exams, but I was doing programming. So that's practically how I started, and that's how I've been going.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Please put your hands together for great. Okay, so finally, Glory Praise, please talk to us. What's your journey been like? And I hope ladies here are watching, because I get to meet with a lot of ladies, and somehow there's just this feeling. They feel like, tech is not for me. I can't be a developer or something. It's not true. I know a lot of female developers that are really good. They're not just good because they are females, but they are really good. They put in the work and they are able to do something with it. So, Glory, please talk to us. What's your journey been like?
Story. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. My story started, I think, for me, just like the first speaker, I think I got to hear about tech indirectly in secondary school, JSS1. So a man, his name is Mr. Maxwell, he just opened a cyber cafe. So I was born in Web 1 era. He just opened a cyber cafe on the road to my school. So he came into my school to like encourage the students to tell their parents to register them for their trainings and programs. So my school teacher allowed him to do that. So he came, introduced his cyber cafe to us, and told us that with 700 naira, they would train us to know how to use computers. I went home that day.
What year was this?
This was 2013.
Okay.
Yes. So so I went back home. I disturbed my parents that, oh, please give me 700 naira. I want to go and start a training in one cyber cafe. And that was how it began. After that training, 2 years later, I disturbed my parents. Okay, I think that was earlier. Like 2010 or so.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I disturbed my parents, and they gave me my first a desktop computer, a desktop setup, and I
It's
was
what's
very
the moral of
curious.
her story? If you know your parents have the means, disturb them.
Disturb your parents. I disturbed my mom. She didn't have peace until she gave me that stuff. So I got very curious with it. I used to do a little bit of graphic design, and then they taught me well in that place. So all the things they taught me from Microsoft Word, Excel, all of those things, I was just doing it. I knew that I wanted to pursue this as a career path. So when I got to SS3, my dad wanted me to study law. My mom said I look good as a doctor. But me, I said I wanted to study computer engineering, and it was a problem because my dad was like, Nigeria is a buying and selling community. You don't do sciences in Nigeria. Do arts. Be a lawyer. You talk like a lawyer. You can defend people and all of those things. I said, no, I want to study computer engineering. And at that time, Uniport and UST were not offering computer engineering. I looked for schools studying computer engineering in Nigeria, and I found the school. I went to University of Uyo, packed my property, left my father's house. I went to Uyo to study. Now, you think that, oh, if I finally made it, I went to study computer engineering. I got to school year one, first semester. I was expecting to learn hacking, Cisco, Kinibogbo, all of those things. Only for them to
I hope
come
you
and
guys
they're telling
see
me.
why we should have borderless on campuses. I hope you guys see what I'm saying right now. No, continue. By the way, if you're in uni, you please drop some tags.
Yeah, so the first class was, I think, math 111, I mean 101. Next, chemistry, physics. I'm like, what is it? Okay, shock me, bring it. You want to surprise me? They didn't surprise me, yo. Instead, that was the courses I was going to be learning in computer engineering. I was frustrated, I tell you. Year one passed, so I was now looking for where can I actually learn tech? What can I do? I didn't see anybody. You know, as a fresher in year one, you don't really know anything in school. You don't know anybody. I was just searching. I will not tell you I was able to research like Jesse. I don't even know, what I was using phone to do then, but I didn't think of that. I was just looking for people that were doing what I wanted to do. And then one fateful day, say fateful day.
Fateful day.
Okay, so one of my friends convinced me to follow her to an event, and someone invited her. She didn't want to go alone. I went. Lo and behold, it was the inauguration of a tech club in school. I was fascinated. Like, I was literally looking at them like this. This one will come and say, I'm a mobile developer, this is what I do. This one will come and say, I'm a web developer, this is what I do. I was just fascinated. After that event, I entered all of their DMs. They were using Slack then. I went to all their DMs. I was like, please, anything you tell me to learn, I will learn. Just show me, I want to do anything you tell me to learn. But they were telling me that, oh, it doesn't work like that. You have to choose one that you like so that you would actually learn to the end. I was like, anything. And that was why I started researching. So I researched, and I think web development was very interesting to me, because how is it that with nothing, you're able to build something, and someone in China can see what you built? Yeah. So I started from there. And then when it came to, that was how I started literally. I started internships, job, then Web3. Web3 started for me in 2021. There was this crypto hype in 2020. Everybody was talking about Bitcoin. This one was talking about crypto, and I was curious. And then I think in 2021, I decided to take it seriously. But I didn't want to do the part that my friends were doing, because everybody was doing ambassadorial jobs, all of those things. I wanted to do the technical part. I wanted to write code, even in the blockchain development space. So I started researching. Then I found Web3 Bridge. I found Web3 Ladies. Then I started learning online while waiting for them to start their cohorts. Yeah. And that was how I joined. From there, internship, job, and now I'm currently working at
Please put your hands
Smart.
together for Glory Praise. Put your hands together for her. Who can tell me one common thing that they've said? Primidak said it, Jesse said it, Great Adam said it, Glory Praise. Who can tell me? You, please. No, you. Yeah, yes, curiosity is one. There's another one. No, you will know it. No, don't sit, don't come up. You will know it. Someone else. Okay, yeah. They did their personal research. Please put your hands together for him. They did, that's the one I'm looking for. They all did their personal research. Whether somebody started 7 years ago, whether somebody started as a teenager, whether somebody they all started as teenagers actually. That's a very good thing. They all did their personal research. Every single one of them. And that's something that you should take out. We're still going to have other panel sessions. I have to end this one right now because of time. So they are going to come out later on we'll have a break session. So get to meet them, speak with them, talk with them, ask questions, connect. Glory Praise entered people's DMs. So I know, Fremidak, you want people to speak with you now, Shay? Good. I know a lot of them, and they're all tutors at Borderless. So get to speak with them, get to know them, so that you can learn also how to do your own personal research and how to pursue this tech journey and become something in it. Thank you so much.